Mogul Motivation, educating and empowering entrepreneurs 1 week at a time. Presented by True Stories Media. And I am your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mogul Motivation. Welcome back. I'm happy that you are here. This podcast, as you know, is for the aspiring entrepreneur. This podcast is for anybody with a dream who wants to elevate themselves to success and aspire higher. This is the third installment of our mini-series that I've been doing titled Intellectual Property. This week is subtitled The Expansion. Intellectual Property, The Expansion. One of my favorite cartoons. Growing up, I used to love watching it in the afternoons. You know, it was one of my favorite cartoons of all time was Pinky and the Brain. Pinky and the Brain was an amazing cartoon for a kid. And little did I know, they had subliminal messages of ambition in that show, whether you know it or not. The Brain was a very ambitious, persistent person. Well, not a person, but a mouse. He was very ambitious and very persistent. Every single day, he would say the same thing to Pinky. What are we going to do today, Brain? And he would say the same thing we do every day. Try to take over the world. No matter how outlandish his plan was, no matter how many times his plans were foiled and deflected, he will always try to take over the world every single day. He was persistent. He was ambitious because he had that ultimate goal of taking over the world. He never let that dream go. The Brain represents us, ladies and gentlemen. We're entrepreneurs. We're people who are trying to do things that most other people can't do and that they want to. We wake up every single day and we voluntarily go through the hardship because we believe in a dream that we can't even see right now. We can see it in our mind, but we can't physically see it. We can't tangibly see it. We can't see that boat that we want. We can't see that house that we want. We can't see these millions and millions of dollars that we want in our bank account right now. But we know that it's possible, right? So we've laid down the blueprint of what we want to do, how to get our business going. Then we started the construction. We began to build our business from the ground up. But now we have to expand, right? But how do you even expand when you think that you're still a small business right now? How do you expand when right now you feel like you're not even doing nothing at all? Let me tell you something. Expansion is expansion. Whether it's an inch, a mile, or a whole nother city, expansion is still expansion. You have to believe right now that everything you do is monumental. Because if you look at your business as small, as irrelevant, as tiny, then everybody else is going to look at it the same way. You have to look at everything that you do as something great. No matter how small your business is right now, no matter how minute and minuscule your sales are, you have to believe that it's going to expand. You have to have that faith in yourself and in your work ethic that is going to expand greater and greater to new horizons. That's a fact. Entrepreneurs still make up a small percentage of this country. There is still less, keyword less, than 15% of the population that are entrepreneurs. That is a statistical fact. Articles will say it's 7% of entrepreneurs. Some articles will say it's 12%, but none of them have any figure greater than 15%. You are 15% of the population, which means 85% of the people in this country are not willing to do what you do, or they're too scared to do what you do. So don't let anybody refer to your business as, oh, you're a little baking company or you're a little accounting business. No, take that little out. I have a corporation. I have an LLC. I am legit. And I'm about to expand this thing. I'm about to grow it. Because, see, nobody can understand the greatness of what you're doing until they see the fruits of your labor. You understand the greatness of what you're doing. That's why you're doing it. That's why you get up every single morning. That's why you continue to go through everything that you go through every day, no matter how hard it is, no matter how demoralizing it can be. No matter how many times you get rejected, you continue to do it because you see the greatness of your business, of your future. But other people don't. They're not going to see the greatness of it until they see the fruits of your labor. Until they see that boat, right? Until they see that house, until they see the millions of dollars, until they see your business name outside of the building. That's when they're going to start to believe it. But at that point, it's going to be too late for them because now they're going to ask you how you did it. You expand your business first and foremost in your mind. You might have a small basement office right now. You might be working out of your house right now. But you have to continue to believe that eventually you're going to move out of that home office and you're going to have your own office. You're going to have your whole building. You're going to have the whole 45th floor downtown. That's what you have to believe in your mind first and foremost. And then you write it down on paper. You put it on your vision board and you continue to grind it out every single day. There is no secret to it. I keep saying this every week. There is no secret. You just keep grinding it out. Once you get to a certain level, you're going to have to expand. Now you're going to have to buy more equipment because your other equipment can't do what you needed to do anymore. You need to step your game up. Now you need to get a work truck to transport all of your materials and get to clients and customers. Now you need to hire on an assistant or someone else to help you with the workload. All of that is expansion, ladies and gentlemen. It might not be expansion in the terms of McDonald's. After Ray Kroc took it over from the McDonald's brothers and he rapidly expanded across the country, it might not be that type of expansion yet, but nevertheless, it's expansion. Because anytime you have to add something on to your operation is expansion, because that means the things you had in the past cannot handle the workload that you have now, cannot handle the business that you have coming in now. So you have to bring something else on to compensate for that and to handle that. That's the reality of it. Yes, we have a small business right now. The term small business refers to us right now as far as technicalities go. But we're not small businesses. We're startups. We're businesses that's just getting the ball rolling. In my 7 years, I've expanded big time. And sometimes I fail to realize it. I'm my biggest critic. So sometimes I fail to realize how far I've expanded. But I have. And you have. And if you're just starting out, you will expand. It takes time. It just takes time. It's going to take days, months, years. But you have to stick with it. You have to stick with it. You don't want that taste in your mouth. You don't want to quit and talk about shoulda, woulda, coulda. You don't want that taste in your mouth. You don't want to feel that way. There's so many people in this world who've given up on their dreams, who've had dope ideas to write books, to build businesses, and they never did it because they got burned out and they quit. We all get burnt out, but we can't quit. We have to keep it going. We have to keep the dream alive. The dream is real. As my friend says. My friend always says the dream is real. And we have to keep it real. We have to continue to imagine reality. That's what intellectual property is all about. Because our dreams is our property that we conceived in our mind intellectually. And no one can foreclose on it. No one has the power to bulldoze it. No one can buy it from you. You own it. You own everything that you create. Everything that you do, you own it. Starting with the blueprint, then through construction, then through expansion. And the third stage, expansion never ends. You're always going to expand your business. You're going to expand your business from where it is now to $1 million company. And even then, you're going to continue to expand because there's always going to be another goal to strive for. If you made $30 million, okay, make $100 million. If you made $100 million, okay, make $500 million. If you made $500 million, okay, make $1 billion. If you made $1 billion, then okay, make $5 billion. It's always going to be something to strive for. That doesn't mean don't be satisfied and happy with the things you've accomplished, but it's always going to be something to strive for. Always. And then it's always going to be more people to motivate. Because while you're in your expansion stage, when you've made it, it's going to be somebody else flipping burgers, mopping floors just like you was, working a job that they hate just like you was. They're going to have dreams. They're going to be laying down that blueprint, but they're going to need some inspiration. That doesn't mean you have to invest in them. That doesn't mean you have to give them money or, hold their hand, but they're going to need that guidance. They're going to need somebody to tell them that it can be done. They're going to need some mentorship. You're going to have to do that. That's part of expansion as well. You're not expanding your empire financially and physically, but you're expanding your character. You're expanding that residue onto other people so that they can be great too. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. So that's my message this morning. Intellectual property. We have to continue to keep the dream alive because the dream is real. We have to make it happen and we cannot stop no matter what. So let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. And let's keep working on those blueprints. Let's keep building. Let's keep constructing. And let's never, ever stop expanding. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you next week.